Now, I wouldn't be a proper film critic if I didn't tell you what movies you should know, would I? So, what are my personal top 10 movies you should watch? For today anyway, because that can change by the hour, the minute, etc. Number 10, The Wizard of Oz.
You're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
One of the best musicals of all time, which also often serves as an intro to one of the industry's goats, if not the goat, Judy Garland. And bonus, there's a whole lot of sordid tales as to just how this bright, colorful confection was made. Watch it.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Number 9, Tampopo.
私を弟子にしてください。突然この店を本物のラーメン屋にしたくなっちゃったんです。
それじゃあ今日からこの店を町一番のラーメン屋に作り変える大作戦を開始だ。
I'm currently making my way through Juzo Itami's filmography, and this delectable feast for cinephiles and foodies has become a regular tradition for me. I carried a bowl of ramen from my favorite spot, Shinya Ramen House in Bridgeport if you're interested. Then I just sit back and enjoy this 1985 comedic romp about a truck driver who decides to help the owner of a failing ramen shop revive her business and find the perfect recipe for success.
私、タンポポです。
Number 8, Bringing Up Baby. This was my gateway drug to the screwball comedy genre. Made in 1938, it still holds up. Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn are one of cinema's best comedic duos, and their timing and the sheer creativity of the physical comedy as they race from one outlandish escapade to another is pure gold.
No, I'm going to come and get you with my...
Susan, what happened? Is it the leopard?
No, nothing happened to me, David. I just... the leopard! David, the leopard!
How does it eventually involve multiple leopards and a missing dinosaur bone? You'll just have to watch. Number 7, Goodfellas.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
This 1990 masterpiece is one of my favorite gangster films and one of my favorite Scorsese movies. One reason I love it isn't only Ray Liotta's famous opening line, where his character Henry Hill says he's always wanted to be a gangster. It's that it's set in the movie's present-day setting when he and his friends are disposing of a soon-to-be dead body in the trunk of a car. Goodfellas then flashes back to Henry Hill's nostalgic beginnings in the 50s, and there's very little glorification you see in other mafia movies, as Scorsese not only shows what Hill's desires have brought him to, but how it came to this.
I'm an average nobody. Get to live the rest of my life like a schnook.
Number 6, Bound.
What are you doing? Isn't it obvious? I'm trying to seduce you.
Speaking of gangsters, this Wachowskis made my favorite film of the genre in 1996, which stars Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon as lovers who decide to steal from the mafia. And how they flip the script on all the male machismo and the gangster film itself is a delight. And it's also a very sexy watch. Number 5, Malcolm X.
You can't get gambling in Harlem without the white man permission. Every time you break the seal on that liquor bottle, that's a government seal you're breaking.
Malcolm X is my favorite Spike Lee film ever. Made in 1992, it's one of the only films about a historical figure that made me feel like I was getting a real education when I watched. This is a man who not only means so much to so many people, he often represents many different things, even to those who've come to revere him. It would have been so easy to get this wrong, and Lee not only nails it, he makes it look easy as he gives exquisite attention to the life of a very complex man and his times. And wow. Denzel Washington's performance blows me away every single time.
You see this here? This is who you are. Beautiful. Your beautiful black self with pride and dignity.
Number 4, Morocco. I do love me a pre-code film. I'm of course talking about the Hays Code, which basically censored what could be shown in film from 1934 to 1968. This of course included queer content, but Morocco came out in 1930, so you are free to enjoy Marlene Dietrich's smoky, sexy number in a suit as she locks lips with another woman in her musical number for her role as a self-destructive nightclub singer who ends up falling for a playboy soldier, played by the excellent Gary Cooper. Number 3, Yojimbo. 1961 film may not actually be Akira Kurosawa's best. That would likely go to either Rashomon or Seven Samurai. But this one is my favorite because it is the cinematic equivalent of a skyscraper. You can practically see all of cinema from it and all the influences that made Kurosawa one of the best filmmakers of all time. Yojimbo follows Toshiro Mifune as a nameless lone samurai who heads into a small Japanese village and decides to purge it of the corrupt forces that have taken it over. So you get the idea, just enjoy the experience. Number 2, Daughters of the Dust.
What they got out there, Eddie Viola?
Life, child, the beginning of a new life.
If there were any justice in the world, director Julie Dash would have had a long and very fruitful career after Daughters of the Dust was released in 1991. She practically created a whole new cinematic language that highly influenced Beyoncé's Lemonade, to cite merely one example. Set in 1902, it's a beautiful, lush, nonlinear story of the isolated Gullah community and the descendants of formerly enslaved people who reside there as they prepare to leave their island home for the industrial North. So prepare to be so poetically immersed in this one.
Never forget who we is and how far we done come.
Number 1, The Red Shoes. How do you make a movie in 1948 with visuals that still continue to hold up and inspire? You get Emmerich Pressburger and Michael Powell to direct the story of a ballerina who becomes increasingly torn between art and love. Watch it and it'll continue to astound. If you see it on the biggest screen possible, you will not regret it.